This is Professor Irvin, and I'm creating a short um, video guide on how to create an ePortfolio using Google Sites, the new version of Google Sites. And I'm going to be walking through 4 basic steps and kind of pausing at different times so the video may jump and things like that, so it's not too long. But basically, first you'll need to create a Google site. Of course, you need a Google account. And I've given you a video that has good basic information on that. You can also YouTube for other videos. You want to make sure it's the new Google Sites. They changed things in 2016. The second step is to create a folder of full files. These are all your finished files and your submission files. We'll look at that more. Then you're going to need to do an intermediary step where you upload your files into your Google Drive. And I'll show you that, and then you'll be ready to build your pages and insert files and basically create your Google site. So let's go and look at the first step, which is to create a folder of files. And I created a folder here in my I call it Google Site 2017. And you'll see that I've got my SA1 finished version, my SA1 submission version. I've got a Process Journal 11 finished version that I've revised, and then the Process Journal 11 that's in the submission draft. So you can work on revising all your pieces and collecting the submission draft versions in whatever form, like the essay I sent you, the copy with you want to make sure it's the copy that has my commentary. You should be able to see it. So it has my commentary and it has my feedback. And then the finished draft of the essay, and you can kind of work on the formatting. I think I wanted this all to be in double spaced. Oops. You don't need the heading anymore because your name is on the portfolio and stuff. So anyway, you can get those finished draft versions all set and placed into that folder. And you should have basically 9 pieces, I guess 18, because you've got the 9 finished and then the 9 submission draft. If you have additional versions that you've done in between, you can include those. Maybe you revised that essay a number of times before you got to the finished draft. So make sure everything's labeled clearly, and then you're going to be ready to go to the next step, which is uploading files to your Google Drive. So you may not be sure what your Google Drive is. So let's say you're in Google, you're maybe reading your Gmail, or you're just at Google, but you see this little box of boxes of the Google apps. You go into your Google apps and go to your Google Drive. Now I'm going to prefer to make a new folder, and I'll call it Portfolio 17. There it is. I can go to it. And now I'm going to put files here. So I'm going to click New, and I'm going to do File Upload. And I'm going to upload. And I'm going to do File Upload. See how they're all showing up? Okay, so kind of like the cooking shows, I've finished uploading all my files. And now we're going to go to and that may take you a little time, but you see it goes pretty fast. We're going to go back to that Google site that we've created, and we're going to now begin to build our Google site. So you see how step 2 and 3 are really, you need to do those before you really dig into making the Google site in any detail. So I'm going to go to the Google site, and I'm not going to go into a bunch of the formatting, but it is nice to have something down here with some text. You probably need to welcome to the collection of writing of, you want your name in there somewhere. And you can have a different title for your portfolio. You can have images in here. You can have more text, a little preface to your readers. But this is your home page. And to begin to create new pages, you click Pages. And it's got this little tab down here. So I'm going to create essay number 1. Done. And here it is. And I can create pages for all my pieces. Essay number 2. Or the second essay I'm including, maybe it's actually my essay 3 or 4. And I can begin to create the other ones. So again, I'm going to pause it for a second and show you then the finished, what it looks like. Okay, so now I've built all my pages by clicking this little page button and given them titles. And now I want to show you how you actually get the text in. In both versions, you want to include the final revised portfolio version, and then I guess any in-between drafts if you have those, and then the submission draft, which is the one that you turned in originally for grade. So let's go to essay 1, and you'll see it's basically kind of a blank page. And to see the editing tools, you double click. See how I did that? Just double click, and now I can see what I want to do. I want to go to the Google Drive. Now you can insert an image if you want to. You can also mess with the background and all those kinds of things. We're just going to be basic and bring in the text. I'm going to go to that folder that I created in my Google Drive with my files, and I'm going to find my essay 1 finished draft, and I'll insert it. Now it goes in kind of small, so I'm going to go ahead and make it big. And whatever kind of changes you have in here as a document, it will show in there. So you want to upload it in whatever form, finished form you want it to be. And then it's kind of nice. I sort of like you to, again, double click, put a little text to kind of indicate below, and then sort of like a spacer setting up what is below is the submission draft. And once again, we're going to upload and go to that folder in the Google Drive, and we're going to upload that file. So when we see the preview, it shows me your finished draft. Okay. And it shows me your submission draft. I can see both. Now I kind of like the heading. Okay, I'm doing the, can't edit. The heading type in here, I think title only is fine. This is set for title. You could do it as heading. So it's not quite as And maybe essay 1, you know, kind of let's give some, change the title. We can change the title. That's essay 2. So as we go to home, see it's showing up there. Now with the process journal, just to show you one other page that's created. Okay, let me go there. See, it's got the submission draft, the final draft and the submission draft. Final draft on top, submission draft below, so I can see both of them. And then when it's all ready, and you can actually change the order of things. Maybe you want to have your Who Am I piece up higher. Make sure it goes in between, or it'll turn into a subpage. So you can change the order. You can give titles. And then when you're all ready, you'll publish it. And the web address, as I kind of mentioned, is SAC-F17 and then your initials. And go ahead, we've got a couple people with the same initials, so go ahead and do like all 3, not just your 2 names. So I'm Lawrence Lenny Irvin, LLI. And go ahead and write that down. SAC-F17 LLI, SAC Google Sites, and publish. And then we can view it. There it is. Get to our first essay. We can read it. We can see more of them, and it's beautiful. You can jazz it up with more pictures and all those kinds of things. That's completely up to you. So this concludes this fairly long video trying to show you how to make a e-portfolio for our class.